Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks video. In tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get a decent amount of kills or a high kill solo win in Fortnite Battle Royale. I think we can all agree that a game between 10 and 15 kills where you're also getting the victory is a pretty impressive solo win, and I think that's the goal of a lot of good players to go for. So I'm going to give some tips and basically analyze this gameplay and talk about what I did to make that happen, taking advantage of when you get an early break and knowing when, basically playing off the RNG that the game gives you, because there is a lot of randomness in this game, and taking advantage and knowing when you can go on the offense and play all out aggressive and rush 5 people at once, and knowing when it's time to maybe sit back and try to secure that win or different things like that. If you guys could drop a like on this thing, that'd be absolutely amazing. Let's go for 434 likes. That'd be awesome if you could hit that. Drop that, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and also be sure to turn on notifications. I would very much appreciate that. Also, this gameplay is from my Facebook live stream, link in the description. I live stream Fortnite there every night, and I got this gameplay here the other night, and it was absolutely awesome. So shout out to everyone who has been supporting me over there. The streams have been awesome. Go over there, follow my Facebook stream. That would be awesome if you guys want to, and let's get right into it. So you can see here off the start, I get my first big break, which is I find a gold shotgun out of one of my first chests in that basic underground bunker, which is kind of new to Retail Row, and I take advantage of that because I realize, hey, there's a lot of people that dropped here at retail. Of course, everyone pretty much knows that if you want to go for high kills at this point, you want to go to somewhere that's a decently hot drop. Retail wasn't even the hottest drop, but I make up for it. You see 3 kills in the early game. I make up for that with a plethora of kills in this mid to late game, and that's really huge. Right here, I just hear someone, and obviously it's this guy just absolutely hiding. I hit him in the head there, but it only does 66. Reasoning behind that is obviously because the way shotguns work and the way the pellets, it's going to run into the wall. But basically, you can see here, I know what my advantage is here. Look, I have a gray AR, but I have a gold shotgun. So I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to play all-out offense at this time. I have 150 health. I have full-on gliders. I have a bunch of minis. You can see here, I'm playing full-on offense, but I'm also making sure to not take damage, because I don't want to, I don't want to take damage. I don't want to take anything more than 50, obviously, because to use more than my minis, and I don't even want to waste my minis. So I'm playing this smart, and I'm taking my time, and I'm taking on all of these engagements. I'm playing aggressive, but I'm playing smart while being aggressive. I'm not just running at these players blindly. I'm taking a shotgun shot and then I'm building. I'm taking a shotgun shot and then I'm building. I'm making edit plays or different stuff like that. And you can see right there, that's how I get off and start off with 5 kills. 2 there in the mid game so far, or I guess you could say that was still kind of early. I guess you could say all of this was still kind of early. And of course, that's basically where I hear another player in this house. And a lot of these players at this point were not the best players. You can see this guy right here, right on top of a trap. Obviously hit him with that, and then I'm able to push that player. Of course, whenever you play, you don't really know. There's going to be good players. There's going to be bad players. A lot of people always say, oh, you play against all bad players, but I play on the NA West servers, the same servers as everyone else, so there's on PS4, there's good players and there's bad players. You know how it is. So basically, when you run into those bad players, you want to take advantage. I have a gold shotgun. I'm running into a couple noobs. Yes, I want to stack my kill count, get my loot up, so you can see how I'm playing aggressive and getting those kills up. But when you run into more tryhard players, that's where you have to be smart with it. Like I talked about in a previous video, each kill is only worth 1, and going for these high kill games, probably 10 to 15 kills is a good margin to go for, and a victory royale. You have to manage going for kills and also going for the win. And that's a big thing to do. But when you're in an advantageous position, when you're like me right now, I have a gold shotgun and a blue SMG. The AR is not looking too good, but I have 6 minis, 10 gliders. I mean, there's no reason for me not to rush a player if I see them, and that's exactly what I do. Right here, I see a player in a hamster ball. Players in hamster balls at this point in the game usually are good players to target because, number one, the hamster balls really don't have that much health compared to what they used to with the patch. And these players usually don't have the most materials, health, or shield, or best weapons, because they've spent a lot of their game either looking for that hamster ball or traversing the map in it. So that's basically what I do. I take my time with this player here, kind of just messing around. This guy didn't really seem like he was ready to put up a good fight. Obviously, as soon as I get above the player, you have such an advantage there, and I can edit down at any moment, catch the player by surprise, and get a nice and easy kill. So I'm moving into late game here with 7 kills and a pretty respectable position, and I realize at this point, okay, I need to keep moving and I need to keep rotating. Right there, I almost steal a kill, which would have been amazing. That would have got me an extra kill there. But, you know, things like that will happen. Some games you'll get that kill, some games you won't, some games you'll get kills stolen, but that doesn't stop me. I'm still going all out aggressive. And you can see here, this guy, I noticed right away, he's double reinforcing. This guy obviously knows what he's doing a little bit, at least better than those other players. I get him trapped, immediately place the double traps, I drop down, and I couldn't actually see that player right there because the trap was like in my field of view if you watch that back. But basically I just took the shot blindly and predicted where he was going to be, which was pretty like self-explanatory on a straight line, and got that kill. Still in this position here, I need to move in. I realize I need to get to the zone. I realize that there's probably some players around, but the zone is moving right away. There's only 14 players left, and I'm going to make my move for the zone. Playing with this inventory is interesting but risky. When you have the gliders, it's awesome. You can play all out aggressive. But the thing about this is I don't have a 50 pop, I don't have a slurp, I don't have a chug jug. So if I get hit for a couple shots, the max I can heal up to is 150. And being 150 is great, but it's not being 200. Being 200 is absolutely amazing. So you have to play it a little bit safer, and I kind of like it because it makes you play a little bit more on the edge, I guess you could say, or being smart with placing those walls. Right there, you can see another player floating, and you'll see I get a couple free kills like that just by being attentive, listening for people floating through the air, and taking the shots, not being afraid. A lot of players are afraid to take those shots. It's really not that hard, especially on console with aim assist. You can knock those players, or on PC where you can just literally use the mouse and point, you can knock those players out of the sky, and you see it all the time on professional player streams, but you can also do it. You know, an average player or a good player can also do that. And it's not that hard to try. And that's one thing about like even the new infantry rifles. I think those weapons are great for like gunfights or taking out a player who's peeking you. But it's not the best at taking out mats. And at hitting moving targets like that, it's not the best. And same with the AK. And that's why I'm leaning more towards like ARs and SCARs nowadays. Especially because there's a lot of players in hamster balls, which are moving targets. There's a lot of people floating through the sky, especially when the end zones are like this with the volcano vents. And you can see here, just trying to get as much damage in as I can. Sometimes you're not going to hit shots. When shooting people out of the sky, the number one thing I pay attention to is my ammo. Right here I have 450 ammo or 430 ammo, whatever it says. I'm not too worried about ammo. If I had 67, I wouldn't want to use them. So by gliding in, I see another player here, and I go aggressive on this player. We both exchange shotgun shots. I immediately notice this player is in the same box area as me, and whenever that happens, if you're quick with it, you should go for that trap play if you are quick with it and if you do have the trap ready to go. And that's why when organizing my inventory, I always try to make either the jump pad ready to go if I think I need to jump pad, or the trap ready to go. Those are the two ones that usually you're going to have to use under pressure. So those are the ones that you want to have ready to go, and you can see it pays off. Right here, another play, I'm just rotating. I have a good amount of mats, rotating in late game, and I realize another player up in the sky. And the thing with this also is a lot of times these players are low because they might be running away from each other. They might be running through a rift or rift to go away from each other, different stuff like that. Especially when there's two players, I'm able to get that kill, and not only that, the free loot. So you can see here, I'm sitting pretty through mid game, through early game. I got some really nice kills just by playing aggressive and winning gunfights very, very quick. And now we're heading more towards the late game. And late game here, this is where you're going to have more enemies that are probably a little bit better players, you know, traditionally that make it to the end game. Sure, you might have some people hiding in bushes, but look, you can see there's a building over there, and this was one of those spots where I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have that many materials, you can see, because I need to keep using them because the people were hitting me with the boom bow and different things like that. So I'm just making sure I'm building. I realize here, okay, there's people all over. I only have 700 mats. There's 7 people left. The zone's going to be small. If I run over there and try to play from the ground up, traditionally, I'm probably not going to win this game just because I don't have enough health or mats to take people on. I only had 1 mini also. So I'm like, okay, it's time to get creative. And this is a really smart play. When you do have glider redeploys, people ask me, I talked about before when it was like 50 health and shield per kill, and or 50 health or shield per kill, and the 500 mats cap, how I thought the glider was so important. And now I don't think the glider redeploy is so important, but if you do use it, make the most of it. You can sit up in trees like this with no punishment, and obviously I drop in on a player here who has absolutely no idea where I was coming from because people won't expect you. It's kind of like the balloons, except when you're up in the tree, it really makes no noise at all unless you make some noise yourself. I'm able to get that kill, of course replenish just a tiny bit of mats, but still I don't have that many materials. And at this point I'm like, okay, I still need to play this smart, and I'm just actually I do have a decent amount of materials, around 1,000. There's 5 players left. I realize, okay, I'm gonna play this smart. and to just rotate into this zone and do the best that I can. Now, by having the gliders, one thing is that you should always be looking for high ground, because why not? You know, if you have the glider redeploy, there's not many risks. As long as you know how to pop the gliders right before you land, there's not as many risks to take in high ground. So I realize right here I have zone advantage, which means I'm not in the next zone, but I'm closer to it than the enemies. There's a player below me. There's a couple players over there. I'm going to play patient. I have 145 health. I'm not 200. And this is where it comes down to, you have to make the decision, how aggressive do you want to play for these kills versus how much do you care about the win. I realize here I'm burning through my mats fairly quickly. I got a lot more steel there, which was very helpful. And this is what I'm talking about. I have the glider redeploy. I'm going to take the height advantage, because why not? I want to take it, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm staying above these players with the height advantage. I'm trying to get some shots, and obviously it's not working out. And I decide to make this lunge because of the fact that I didn't want to use my materials to build all the way over, and most likely they would I'd have to be double reinforcing that, or I guess you could say a flat pyramiding it like this, and they would shoot me down. You can see you can burn through materials pretty quick. So I'm doing it here because I realized, okay, now there's only 3 left. I'm constantly paying attention to how many are left and how many materials I have, as those are probably the most important things to pay attention to. Also, your redeploys, if it's getting low, I have 5 here, so I'm not really concerned about that. Once again, I'm just playing these players. I'm trying to get any damage in that I can. Right here, as soon as I see the mountain, I always realize connect builds to a mountain. That is a way where they basically won't be able to knock you down. So that's something that I'm thinking in the back of my mind, but then I realize, okay, maybe the zone isn't going to go that way. So you got to be constantly thinking things while playing the game. You see what I mean? Right here, I drop in, I get some damage in, but I kind of misplace my floor. I place it on the place before, but I don't panic here. I stay in front of the zone. I move slowly, timing it by using these minis, and I let the 2 other players fight below me. Now, of course, as soon as I realize one of these players is dead, I'm going to want to make the move, and I see it right there, so that I don't give this player time to pop minis, to pop a campfire, to do anything. Obviously, he probably couldn't campfire because the zone was pushing. I eventually get the headshot. I keep the height advantage, and that's how it works. I'm using my materials. I'm paying attention to the amount of players alive and my resources, and basically using the resources to get the most amount of kills and give myself still a high win percentage, if that makes sense. You can see there, 1,949 damage done, 311 damage taken, 13 kills, 2 assists. So a really, really good game. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and hope this can help you guys get some tips on how to get more kills and get more high kill solo wins. Use your advantages. If you have a lot of stuff in your inventory, don't just dilly around. If you have a lot of mats, go for those kills. If you don't have a lot of mats, maybe take your time, and maybe the loot's not as good. Maybe that's a game where you want to play it slower. But if everything's going in your favor and you want to go for a high kill game, keep pushing it, as long as you're not taking too much damage, and achieve those new heights and those new kills. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys made it to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.